River. Is everyone okay with the water?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knew we were coming in the water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At least once a week, I'm not kidding, it takes someone by surprise, which I never quite understand because there's 70 life jackets above you.
It's for another tour.
It's so funny, yeah.
Nautical decor.
This is my favorite tour of the day. Always with the sun coming down, and there'll be lots of sailboats up on the river. It'll be very picturesque for you guys. I'm gonna get a little wet if I keep that open, unfortunately. This is my air conditioning, so it's not very high tech. Check it open. There we go. So we got this great park on our right called North Point Park. What I really like about North Point is that this was once all industrial. So from here, about a mile on up the East Cape and shoreline, was once known as the lost mile of the Charles River because it was so incredibly toxic. It was lost to the public and nobody ever wanted to come down here. So you have these big buildings, smokestacks, discharge pipes dumping whatever they wanted to in the Charles, and now it's all green space. You'll see this bridge on your right. It's actually one of 3 in the park, and they open up into this canal system, winds their way throughout, and if you really want to impress somebody on a nice warm day, you can hire one of our Charles River gondoliers to guide you through the canals. It's very romantic. Especially with the prisoners watching across the river. What are you gonna do? But now you folks know the secret to the jail. They built that when this was factories. Nobody cared because, nobody came here. But as they like to say, hindsight is 20/20, and boy, would people love to have their waterfront property back. Yeah. So we have the green light to head on up through the old 1910 Charles River lock and dam system. This lock is no longer functioning. We do have a newer lock downriver called the Gridley Locks, which currently controls the tides to the Charles River. The Charles River was first mapped out in 1614 by Captain John Smith, the lead actor in Disney's Pocahontas. He brings his maps back to the King and the Queen of England. They give their maps to their beloved prince. They tell him, name anything you'd like. And so he names the river after himself. And his name was Prince Charles, so this becomes the Charles River. We also have Charlestown, Charles Street, Charles Circle, and you guys get the idea. Pretty popular. This river is about 80 miles long. It starts up in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, the same place that the Boston Marathon begins. The Boston Marathon, better known as the Kenyon Invitational, is the oldest marathon in the U.S. 119 runnings as of this year. So guys, we're in the deepest point of the Charles right now. It's about 30 feet deep here going up through the old lock system. Once you hit the 5-mile mark, it never gets deeper than 3 to 4 feet. Maintains that depth for 40 miles. So if y'all like to canoe or kayak, maybe stand-up paddleboard, Charles River's a great place for it because big boats tend not to go upriver because they draw too much water and they bottom out. Of course, rowing is incredibly popular on the Charles. We have the largest 2-day rowing event anywhere in the world called the Head of the Charles Regatta. It's the second weekend of October. Last year, the biggest ever. Over 14,000 competitors came from all over the world and descended upon the Charles to row, and about 400,000 spectators over the course of 2 days to help cheer them on. Here comes the sun glare. So evidence of all the old factories along the Charles remain. These big black and yellow bollards, these steel supports above the locks. That's what the old commercial vessels once tied up to. Going up to places like the New England Confectioners Company, they're better known as Necco. Any of you know what a Necco wafer is?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Because they're kind of hard to find. They're not the most prolific candy. They are the oldest candy in the United States. Roll of multicolored chalky wafer candies. I sort of put them in the same category as Spam. I mean, I can't. Because you either love them or you loathe them and you're never indifferent. You can also buy a roll of Necco, tuck them away for 40 years, open them up, they're as good as the day you bought them. They'll never spoil on you. In fact, during World War II, you could buy one single Necco wafer. Every one produced was given to the Allied troops, as it was the only candy in the entire world that they could find that would not melt, nor would it freeze, which I think is absolutely frightening. Because what on earth is it made out of then, you know? Creepy. We're gonna head up the river. I've been driving this thing all day. I need a volunteer. Who wants to drive with it? Anybody want to be my captain? Right there. Let's go. Lightning hour. Just watch your head. Alrighty, Capitan. What's your name? Gwen. Where do you live? Portland, Oregon. Recently rated the greenest city in the United States. Congratulations. Excellent. Turn to your right. Perfect. Also rated the second best bicycling city in the United States. You lost out to Minneapolis. So sad. You're fine. But those Minneapolis people, they also bike in the snow. They put those studs on. I know, who does that? I know. They're hardcore, as we like to say. Have you been to Boston before? Oh, welcome. Excellent. Have you ever touched the Atlantic before? Okay, good. Just making sure. I was going to have you lean over, but this isn't technically. It's a little bracket, you know. It's a little mix. So, excellent. Went to stay in the water, don't hit anyone. That's the main thing to do. Just follow that duck. Be golden. So we're right on top of the borderline of Boston and Cambridge right now. City of Boston to our left, Cambridge on our right. Both founded in 1630. They named Boston after the port that the Puritans sailed out of, Boston, England. So that was pretty simple. They'd already planned out the name. They had no idea what to call the piece of land across the river, so they called it the New Town. Keeping it simple. 1636, the Puritans, always very wealthy and well-educated, started the first college in America. They called it College of Newtown. 1638, a gentleman from Charlestown passes away. He leaves all his books and half his fortune to the College of Newtown, so they rename it after him. Y'all know his name was John Harvard. It becomes Harvard College in Newtown. Newtown scrapped. They rename it Cambridge after Cambridge, England, where they all went to school before they came to America. And thus, New England. That's how we get our name. Everything here is named after a place across the pond. Gwen, you've done a great job being my captain. I have a sticker for you. It says, I drove a duck. You wear that with pride. Nicely done, Captain. How about you kids hiding in the back? You want to drive?